Monday mornings. What's up, Springfield? It's Raheem here on Monday, April 18th, 2022, and this is 413 Sports Talk number 323. Happy Patriots Day. Boston Marathon will be run the first time since the pandemic. Today I got NBA playoffs to talk to you about USFL Day 2 and a whole lot more. Episode 223 starts now. And I got them player evals for you too. First we'll start with two stories from the news talking about the Celtics. Jason Tatum hits the game winner as time expires. Boston wins 115-114 over the Brooklyn Nets to take a 1-0 series lead. Hey, Jason Tatum's a star. I've said this for a while. People aren't giving him credit. They better this year, after this year. Miami Heat are wary of Trae Young, but ultimately they down the Hawks 115-91 for the Game 1 victory. I believe that Miami's going to win that series. I think they're going to sweep them, actually. The Hawks, for me, played a little too inconsistent down the stretch. The end of the regular season looked kind of shaky to me. It didn't really lead me to believe that Atlanta was going to go anywhere. More importantly, in free agency, they didn't really do anything last offseason either. They didn't really get Trae any help. So, it's the same shitstorm as last year. And that's it for the news. Let's talk about Western Mass Sports, shall we? Girls lacrosse. The lone game was New Canaan over Long Meadow 4-0. Moving on to softball. These are scores from Saturday, by the way. Turtles Falls over Hopkins Academy 8-5. That's it for the girls' side. Let's talk about the boys' side of Western Mass Sports. Long Meadow over Pinkerton Academy 14-2, and Shrewsbury over Chicopee Comp 9-4. Now let's talk baseball. Granby over Smith Academy 8-5. Pope Francis beats Minnetrog 16-1. Nipmuc over Frontier 14-7. Frontier Redhawks dropped 3 games in a row. And Wacona over Pittsfield 10-0. And that's it for Western Mass Sports. Time for the NBA. Boston over Brooklyn, as we talked about in the beginning, 115-114. Miami over Atlanta 115-91. Talked about that as well. Milwaukee over Chicago 93-86. And Phoenix over New Orleans 110-99. NCAA baseball time. Let's get through these scores rather quickly. Tennessee over Alabama 15-4. Florida over Vandy 4-3 in extras, and Pittsburgh over Virginia 4-1. NCAA softball. Florida State over UNC 9-2. Arkansas over Kentucky 8-zip. Tennessee over Texas A&M 11-8. And that's it for NCAA softball. Hockey, NHL. Florida over Detroit 6-1. Buffalo over Philly 5-3. St. Louis over Nashville 8-3. Minnesota beats San Jose in extras 5-4. Toronto over the Islanders of New York 4-2. And that's it for the NHL. Now on to MLB. Baltimore over the Yankees 5-0. Boston over Minnesota 8-1. Pittsburgh beats Washington 5-3. Toronto over Oakland 4-3, and Mets over Arizona 5-0. Miami over Philly 11-3. San Fran over Cleveland 8-1. Milwaukee over St. Louis 6-5. Tampa Bay over the White Sox 9-3. Angels over the Rangers 8-3. Cubs over the Rockies 6-4. Dodgers over Cincy 9-1. Seattle over Houston 7-2, and San Diego beats Atlanta 2-1. Detroit and Kansas City was postponed. That's it for the professional side of sports. Now let's talk about Raz top 10 safeties. Here we go. These are my top 10 safeties for the upcoming NFL draft. This is my hype train list, and I'll tell you why. The safety class is not really that deep, at least from my understanding and my studying and my poring over and devouring every second of the last few months. It's not really that deep. There are certain guys that caught my eye, but not anybody that you're really going to be crazy over. Even when we get to the top 4, because those guys still have flaws in their game that are kind of red flaggish, but they can be coached up. Anyway, let's start this list. Starting with the senior out of UCLA. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. His name's Quentin Lake. This is definitely a preference pick here. As I said, there's really not much depth in this class for this position. His tape is compared to guys I have on this list. To me, like, he lacks speed and quickness that you would expect in a safety, as well as like play strength when it comes to assisting on the run. His IQ in the way he plays in zone, the way he understands route coverage, the way guys are lined up, excuse me, knows what's going to happen. That is hours and hours of practice, game time, film, tape, everything. And he just knows. It sounds so simple and basic, but it's like it's really quality. And especially his character too. Let's talk a little bit about that. Clinton Lake's father played for the Steelers, so he's not afraid of the work that has to go into being a professional. Definitely not a guy who's going to get star-studded, in the locker room or whatever. Not a guy that's going to be a distraction. So I think with that alone, on top of his body of work, it fits in perfectly for the NFL. I think you put him in a hybrid safety zone match, kind of like scheme. And what I mean by that is he's not playing up because he doesn't have the strength. He's not that guy. He doesn't have the size that you would expect to stick at strong safety. Doesn't really have the speed as a free, but I think he fits best in those. You know what I mean? He showed his best stuff on film to me, and when he played zone. So you'll kind of stick him there. You can play cover 2, a little bit of cover 2, but don't stick him out there in a 3, because most likely a slot receiver is gonna end up giving him trouble. Like I said, he's a zone guy, and I think he will go in rounds 4 or 5. Moving on rather quickly. Next guy is from Cincinnati. His name is Brian Cook, 6'1", 206. He's very, very physical. I had a chance to watch Cincinnati throughout this year. As you guys know, I'm a big Dennis Rutter fan. He's a quarterback for Cincy, who I think will be drafted number 20 by the Steelers. So I got glimpses of him on defense, and that Cincinnati defense is fucking disgusting. Anyway, I love the way he plays. Honestly, a safe projection for him would be a box safety. That strong safety. Come up, play the run. I ain't letting shit get past me. Whatever is going to happen in front of me is going to happen. I'm going to make the play. One of those type of guys. Like I said, he's great against the run. I like the angles that he takes when tackling people. And obviously a lot of them look like really big, vicious hits, and I love it. He's not a great athlete. What's his name for Colorado State at tight end? Scored 2 on him. That was like my number 2 or 3 tight end. When we get to that later on in the week, I will bring that up again when I'm doing the tight end list. But yeah, Brian Cook's been burnt by tight ends before. Issues in the speed department to me, and alluding to the comments I was making about his coverage of tight ends. I think he's especially fucked if he's on a one-on-one matchup, and faster backs can exploit that as well. He's not really going to be an impact guy right away, which is okay. You sit him, he learns the ropes behind somebody else. But if the right team needs him, and they might, I think he can be a great starter in this league. Keep him in the zone for schemes, and he will be drafted in the 4th and 5th round as well. Number 8, J.T. fucking Woods. Oh my god. I was waiting for this one. J.T. Woods, 6'2", 195 pounds, senior out of Baylor. played opposite Jalen Petrie, who's on this list. Little spoiler right there. I'm sorry. I admit I found out about him when I was looking at Jalen Petrie's film. I did not know shit about what he had going on until then. This guy's really fucking good. Like, really fucking good. As a matter of fact, most of Baylor's defense was. And as we will see within the next 2 to 3 drafts, the guys coming up out of Baylor, pass rushers, linebackers. But anyway, he'd be what I consider a Madden god. Like, every key rating would be 99 with him. Speed, acceleration, awareness, it's all there. In real life, however, I'm not gonna lie, speed's evident as soon as you see it on film. The way he backpedals so smoothly when coming back, let's say following, let's say a running back gets by him and gets a little ground on a flat. Sorry for that rambling. Let's say he gets a little ground on a flat, and it's just he backpedals so smooth and so quickly. There's no bump in his step or whatever. Coverage with him is a sight to see. Speed demon track star. He's going to keep up with anybody that comes down there. I like his size, athleticism, and what he can do as far as the contested catch is concerned. One of the best coverage defensive backs in this draft, and that's saying a lot, including corners. I think one thing I could say, because he's such a speed guy, maybe he'd have to improve on his tackling a little bit. The technique's a little iffy. The angles he takes are weird. But that's coachable, and he will get better. And JT Woods will be a name in this league. Make him a free safety. He'll go in the 3rd round. And I think it's worth a gamble, especially if you need one at that point. Go for JT Woods. Number 7, Kirby Joseph, senior out of Illinois. Not at all a track star. He's not going to wow you with any type of speed. In fact, I couldn't even find many situations where his speed or lack thereof would benefit. I don't know. He's what you want for the position, size-wise, and the way he plays the run. Goddamn. But with the inconsistency in his game, he's more of like a third safety. Day 3 guy, as far as the draft's concerned. Downhill, like I said, scheming. Put him in there in certain positions. Very smart, and evident as he was captain of that defense. Called the plays. Which is something you don't see often in a safety. This guy's best at a strong safety. I think, pencil him in where you need him, scheme him up, and he will be drafted within the 4th or 5th round. Now, number 6, the boss, Nick Krause. 6'2", 215-pound junior out of Maryland. Here we go. What I love about the boss? Shit, Nick Krause? Well, for one, he's a hybrid safety linebacker prototype, such as the Steelers' Bud Dupree. Unrefined is a word to use here, but he projects very well size-wise, and the skills that he demonstrates. At times, he lacks anticipation and can give up ground and man coverage. Played a little bit too conservative in zone, if you ask me, this year, and that was because of the fact that his speed is suspect. But he defends the run well. I think his speed's okay. He's not slow. He's a guy that's gonna contribute on special teams very early. By the 2nd or 3rd year in his career, he should be a starter, and he can be taken within the 3rd or 4th round of this draft. He can be free or strong safety, by the way. Number 5. Ooh. Here's where it starts to get a little. Louis was signed 6'2", 199-pound junior out of Georgia. I have a lot of Georgia defenders in my player evals. If you watched the Bulldogs last year, you know why. They beat Bama. Speed, acceleration, and impeccable change of direction, quickness are the traits that has helped Lewis become successful. Excuse me. One of the top high upside guys in this class. Great speed, makes plays on the ball, but not exactly what you want as far as a run defender is concerned. Not at all. I think Georgia had an unbelievably talented, ridiculous front seven. Probably the best ever assembled in college, honestly. So all he did was, come downhill, and, if the tackle was there, he took it. If not, it was mostly eaten up by Jordan Davis. Or that Wyatt, whatever his name is, the other one. Plays opposite of Jordan Davis. So he was mainly a guy that just, excelled in coverage, pass coverage. But that doesn't mean that it's not coachable. Can't gain weight and, kind of become that do-it-all safety that most of them are in this league. Excuse me. I think the mentality and everything is there. This guy's not worth a first-round pick, but he will find a niche in this league and place himself there. Going within the second or third round of the draft, and he can play either position fairly well. Number 4, Jaquan Brisker, 6 foot, 200 pounds, out of Penn State. He's a senior, 6'1" actually. I love most defensive products that come from this university. They all tend to have very promising NFL careers. You guys ever heard of this former college teammate, the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys? Anyways, Brisker is all the same hype at the safety position. He has decent speed, not the best, but he plays with a lot of strength. Big hits everywhere. Flags will come. But who cares? We love the big hits. She created a lot of turnovers, which she was a part of, fumble recoveries, forced fumbles. And this is something coaches love. I think it's something that maybe a team might go a little higher if they're not already that high on Jalen Petrie. I think this might be a risk pick here for most franchises that need a safety. I think they take him based on his tape. I think they take him because he's a true strong safety. He's great in coverage. Covers tight ends very well. Very physical, who's always giving it 110%. This motor's crazy. Plays kind of conservative in zone. Don't know why that is, but not much backpedaling. Doesn't eat up grass like you want a safety to. And his energy comes alive in man coverage. He's a fucking animal. Potential day one starter. Reminds me of the Saints' Tracy Walker, honestly, if you remember Trace. Free safety, round 2, but some teams will jump to the first round to take him. Number 3, we have Jalen Petrie, 5'11", 198, out of Baylor. Number 3. I already know what you guys are going to say. But him and the number 8 guy's teammate, JT Woods, played completely different roles as the individual safety positions. It was a complex Baylor defense to learn. Petrie was effectively a strong safety slot corner star defender. Kind of like Clinton Dix for the Packers Redskins. He's a bit undersized as compared to others on the list, but the additional speed helps him in man coverage. Don't get it wrong. He's not afraid to stick that nose in there and defend against the run. My concern is that big play gambling Trevon Diggs kind of coverage. It's either feast or famine, and so many defensive backs are coming out of school now. With that kind of play style. And I'm not knocking it at all, but it's, there's going to be a team that's going to take a guy that's played like that, played really good in college, and then gets to the NFL. It's like, holy fucking shit, I'm not Trevon Diggs. So, Speed and acceleration are okay. He's got great hands. Covers all right as well. I think he's a hybrid guy. Put him around everywhere, but he will eventually be a star. Taken in the second round. There might be a team that may gambles, but I think it's safe to say Petrie's a second rounder. All right, my last two guys. So the number two guy is really my number one guy, but for reasons we have to have Kyle Hamilton here. 6'4", 220 pounds. That was not a mistake. A junior out of Notre Dame. This guy will be an absolute demon with the right team. This is generational talent. He's a physical specimen in the secondary, standing 6'4", weighing 220 pounds. I was underwhelmed watching him in his senior year, even though Notre Dame was undefeated. Given all the hype with him being a blue chip defender and what happened the year before, this has led him to be one of the top prospects in this draft. He does some unique stuff pretty fucking well. I like his body size to speed ratio. It's insane. Very athletic. The reflexes. Very strong guy. He's big enough to put those mitts up. And Tampa Bay, I've seen Devin White, kind of come down the right side with his hands up. One of those longer arm guys that could potentially bat down the pass. I know it's kind of like, iffy. It's kind of like a reach right there, but I think he plays that very well. He's all over the ball. The reflexes are ridiculous. The pass deflections are crazy. He can also play a little bit of outside linebacker, which he was asked to do quite often. Notre Dame took a little while to get over the loss of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, yes, who was drafted in 2021. But anyway, he uses all his traits to an even bigger advantage, as he can play outside linebacker, strong safety, free safety, probably even a little corner too. Maybe he's not that quick, but I'd try it if I were a coach. This guy is most likely a day one starter no matter what. Scheme, he should be a strong safety, hybrid, band linebacker, kind of like what I was describing when he plays right outside, and he'll even bounce out the coverage or zone. He'll bounce out the zone or, come up and delayed blitz, have the hands up, maybe swat down a pass, confuse the quarterback, He will go in the first round, most likely a top 10 pick, and he is a strong safety that's going to make a name for himself in this league. This leads up to my number one guy. This is why I've also said this is a hype train video, but anyway. Daxton Hill, junior out of Michigan, 6 feet tall, 192 pounds. The safety with the highest upside. He has every skill you look for as far as what you need in your safety. He can run with any wideout, he can run with any tight end, covers backs out of the flats, and he does everything very, very well. Speed and acceleration are fucking bananas off the charts. It's a 4.39 for that 40-yard dash, if you were wondering. Automatic lock to start on special teams with that blazing speed and athleticism. My only knock on him, and it's coachable, is he sucks against the run, and that comes with that small frame. This concludes my list of the top 10 safeties and episode 323 of 4-3 Sports Talk. I am Raheem Escalay. Love you all. Wishing nothing but health, wealth, and success. Come see us on YouTube with 49 subscribers. And thank you for your continued support on Facebook. I hope that you all enjoy your Monday.